Hello friends and everyone, welcome back to Netcode-Hub channel. My name is Frederick, as you know already, and I'm happy to have you here today. In this video, we are going to look at how to send message to an individual in our Blazor WebAssembly and Web API with SignalR chat application. I have already made two videos on this, and now in the first video, we spoke about how to create service for SignalR and also how to connect the server and the client, that's a Blazor WebAssembly, together. In the second video, we spoke about how to perform group messaging, how to send message to groups, and also how do you notify connected members in a group as soon as you get connected, and also how do you notify them when they disconnect from the hub. If you haven't checked any of the videos, then you can check this video description. I have all these videos links in there. You can go through them. As usual, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, then do that. And also, don't forget to click on that notification bell to receive update as soon as I upload new content. So in the previous video, we had the groups in here, and now you can click on this group and now join it. And now when you join it, you can have a look at the current connected client. Now we are not much concerned with this. We want to now have a list of these online users connected here. And as soon as I click on this user, I can have access to communicate or chat this person. That is this video is about. So let's go to our source code and try to modify what we have in here to suit what we want now. Alright, now this, when the client gets connected, we want to add this. You know, we have this connected client, and that is the list that we are creating in here. So when user gets connected, we want to add the user to this. So at the end, we're going to have a list of connected clients in here, and we can display that. So you know, when a user gets connected, we're going to call this method, because this is a work method that we've subscribed in that component. That's a Blazor application. So within that, you know, we are passing in connected client, and now with this, we can remove this, but we just pass it on. Although we are not using, but this is going to hold the current user connection ID. We have this as a list which includes this connection ID. So here it has no use. You can remove it. Okay. Now aside from that, when the client disconnects, maybe we can also remove it as from here. So you can see that this connected client, we also want to remove this connection ID in here from the list. And now when we do that, we are also calling the same method in here and passing in the list of the client. So we can have it updated. Now when I come here, in the previous video, we had a look on send message to group, but this time around, we are going to send message to individual. We're going to pass in the receiver connection ID and also the message that the receiver want to send. Okay, no, you want to send to the receiver. So in that, we're going to check in case this is false, then we are going to add these messages to this pending message. So as soon as the user tries to view the message, this will set automatically to true. So setting this to false means the user hasn't clicked on it to read the message. And in that, we set this to false, and we're going to add this to the pending. In case this is set to true, that is when the user clicks on view to view the message, then we're going to have this. We're going to clear the messages in here, because by then the user would have gotten the messages that was sent to him. So the main thing here is to send the message to a specific client, and in that we can do this getting the client in here .client, and now we need to specify the client ID. That is the core of what we're doing. You see, so passing the ID in here, and that is all. It's going to send this message directly to this specific client if and only this specific client is connected. Good. And now we call the chat method. We pass in the context ID, that's the current user ID, and now the message as well. That's very simple. So this is all that we need to do in here. Okay, this is the most important thing. As for this, it's just something that I did to beautify. Let's say beautify or add something small to it, but that is what you need to do. There is a way to send message to a specific client. And also I added one method, and that is found at the base here. It is retrieve old messages. So you can see from here we have a list of string, and I will checking if pending message equal to 0, it means there's no pending message, then we want to return. But in case you have more than that, then we want to look through it and now add this message, this statement to this message that we have as a list that we have created in here. After that, we want to set this to true, And the next thing we're going to do here is we want to call this, invoke this method. So you can see that we haven't send async and I retrieve old messages. So this method will be invoked when the user clicks on or connect that you want to chat. Okay, that is where we're going to call this message as well. Then we're going to pass in the message, which is a list of string in here. So we have two methods added, and that is what that we need to do to connect or communicate or create a connection between. That's a one-to-one chat. Okay. Now the next thing that we're going to do here is to go to our Blazor WebAssembly app, and now from our home component, we're going to subscribe to that event. And now in that, where we have our subscription, we're going to add one more, and that's a retrieve old messages. So you can see that this return a list of string, and that's what we have in here. Now, if this method gets invoked, we want to have the sent, or we want to assign the list of string that we have as the messages to the chat messages in here, whilst you've looped through this to display it on the screen. And now, aside from that, if I click on send message, this was meant for the group. If I click on send message, we want to send the message in here. So you can see we are invoking this method, send message to individual. We pass in the connection ID and add the message. Okay, then we're going to add this message to the chat because you want to see the sender's message and the receiver's message. So you also have to add it in there. And I will clear the variable here, so you can have a free space to type in the next message. So aside from this, what we're going to do here is we want to check the UI. We want the user to click on a specific client connected so we can have access to the chat. So you can see from here we have when you check this online users, this is going to give you the whole list of connected clients. In this, we're making this as what? Clickable. We are adding an event to it, and I will call this as chat user. Now with this chat user method, we are passing in the connection ID in here. So the connection ID, that is what we're passing on here, and that's what we want to use to send message. Now this chat user here, or this a variable that we're passing on here, it is not the current user ID. It is a receiver's connection ID. Take note. Now in that we have to define a method for that, and I did that at the base. So when you check, you can see that we're having this, and we are retrieving or having a parameter known as receiver connection ID. In that we want to trim it because the ID here first it was, if you remember, connection ID just join. We want to just trim it, and I remove just join, and I'll get only the connection ID. So I just split it, trim it, and I'll pick the first one, that's the index of 0. And now if I'm going to check if it's equal to this connection ID, then I want to tell the user that you cannot message yourself. Yes, so you can message somebody else. And in case it does not equal to what we have already, that's the current user connection ID, then we want to call this, invoke this, retrieve old messages to check if the current user has old messages in there. In case it has it, it's going to call that. In case it doesn't, then it's also going to proceed, and that's going to pave way for communication to happen between the sender and the receiver. So we are not doing something much in here. It is just some few touches to make this work. Good. That is all that I need to do. This is very simple. Yeah, that's all that I need to do. Now, once you're done with this, what we're going to do here is we're going to run this application, and I'll see what, at the end, what you're going to see. So when the app runs, this is what we have in here. We have this online user. So we have only one connected, and that is the current one. If I click on this to chat, you can see you cannot message yourself. And I believe you know the reason why we're having this, isn't it? Now let's also copy this, and I'll connect another one. So here I'm getting connected to the hub, and now let's see, I'm going to have this you can see updated. Now this person has connected, and now when you go here too, this person has also connected. If I click on disconnect, it's going to clear everything here, because if you're disconnected, you cannot see connected client. And now when you go here, you can see that we have only one, that's the main one in here, this current user. Click on connect again, and now you're going to have it again, and I'm going to see this in here as well. Okay, Now let's go and implement the chat. So I'm going to click on this. So this is the current one. So I'm going to click on this. Now we have the chat in here. Now I'm going to, so let's start. No, we have not connected to this. So, but we have connected to that in this end. Now let's see. So hi. Now if I click on send, we have hi from here. But when you go here, you're not receiving anything. But as soon as you click on this, not that one, here, this one, you can see you are going to retrieve the message. And that's a pending message. You're going to retrieve it from here. And now you can respond also as hi. And now as soon as you do that, you check, you're going to have it in here. Then you can now keep on the chat. So how are you? You can now move on with this. It's very simple. Okay. Fine. And you can now move ahead with it. Yes. So you see, sending message to individual is very simple. All that you need to do here is to call the client. And now when you have the client, you have to specify the client and now pass in the connection ID that you want to send the message to. That is all that you need to do. So very simple one. Okay. We call the client in here and I pass in the client and I pass in the connection ID. That is the person who has already connected to the hub. His connection ID. And now you can send this message directly to that person. Now the method that you're going to pass on here is what you're going to subscribe to. As soon as this method is being invoked, and now it's going to get it rendered, and everything that you pass on here, you can retrieve it in there as you've seen. So you can see this is very simple. Yeah. So I think that is the end of this video. We've seen how to create service for the Netcode-Hub, how to message group, and also how to message individual. Yes. So that is all. And I'm going to catch up again. Till then, take care.